Welcome to Say by the Ben, a Say by the Bell podcast. I am your host. And I'm here again with Bryan Withawhy. I believe it's part 4. We're going to go with part 4 because that sounds cool. So it is Bryan with a Y.40. 4.0. One of those O's. As long as there's an O, then it's all good. Enjoy the episode.
There he is.
Yo, here I is, man.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty all right. How you doing?
I'm literally melting into my plastic shorts.
Oh, plastic shorts on a 100+ degree day.
Well, it's summertime, and that's it's what's in style right now in Portland. So sometimes
Okay.
you gotta just resist the weather because you want to look fashionable when you do a open mic at Dante's on Thursday.
Oh, so okay. You is that the mic you're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one that I'm
You've been
running.
doing with Jimmy?
Well, that's when it was Fun Club, yeah. But post pandemic, this week will be the fourth week in a row of it just being me, and it's LOL. It's not Fun Club.
Oh. Who
Yeah.
so it's an open mic that you run?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your parameters for the guidelines and all that fun for the micers?
Well, I usually say 5 to 10 minutes, but if someone is working on a particular set, I like to provide the opportunity of someone doing 15 or 20 minutes if they are like focused on that and working on something. But usually 5 to 10 minutes. Don't be too ist. Um,
Twoist?
and yeah, don't be too ist. Don't be too racist, sexist,
Oh,
ableist, chauvinist, disableist. Like we
that
have a
is.
we got a dude that's blind, and you know, like there's a lot of puns that can be had, with being blind and people forgetting about that. But you
Sure.
know, sometimes you're relying on something like that too much, and you're not growing, and it's not. I don't know, whatever.
And
If you're
yeah,
there, you're there, and that's all that kind of matters, I think.
and there's a certain way to do each of those, but no one at an open mic knows how to do that. I guess is kind of where it is.
Right.
Maybe they do, but probably not. And it's going to probably be a lot of punching down. And I mean, you have so many ists. You put the fucking uh, ist in list.
Pretty
That's,
much, yeah.
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 Um, and that's okay. So what else? What are the other guidelines of your show? LOL.
It's really kind of open to whatever. Um, I I want it to be purely comedy and not, spoken word or musical acts or things like that. But we had one dude come through, and I've known him for 15 years, like when I first started getting into comedy, and he's still doing it. And he brought out
A keyboard?
it, no, it was like it wasn't a ukulele, it was like a mandolin or something. It was like a small guitar thing, and he played it, and he's an OG in the scene, so of course everyone was on board just because he was there, and so I'm not gonna stop the mic because he's got this thing, but we'll see how much he wants to hook everything up in terms of amplification, because it is just an open mic. It's not a show. So, um,
Wait, so he had a plugged in mandolin?
no, he just had the mandolin, but he also had like an amplification thing. But we didn't we didn't set anything up or talk about it beforehand. And he had asked about amplification, and I was like, oh no, like not I don't they have the equipment, but I haven't dinked with it. And he's like, oh, so maybe next time I'll come early and we can hook it up. And I was like, yeah, let's see. Because if he's an OG, then it's like, do you know the Elvis? Do you know the guy that dresses up as Elvis?
Yep.
Yeah, he comes through, and
Okay.
he'll not, it wasn't him this time. It was a different comic, but Elvis will come through, and I'll be like, hey man, you want to go up? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. And then like at the very end, he'll be like, I want to go up. And it's like,
Well, you should have planned that better.
yeah. And like
Like,
anybody else, I would be like, nope. But like the last time that I did that, there were some people who, I don't really talk to often, and they were like, you're not going to let Elvis go up? I'm like, well, I asked him twice if he wanted to go up, and then at the end he said he wanted to go up, and they're like, yeah, well, it's Elvis. And I'm like, yeah, but like, and that's kind of where I learned, like, you can't make everybody happy. And like generally everyone should be happy if you're giving them the opportunity. And I just try to remain genuine, and I say 5 to 10 minutes, and sometimes I'll let people do more. And there were a couple times I told people like, try and just do 5. But I think the more it goes, the less time people will get, because the first time I had it, I had 7 people, and it's like, how am I going to fill 2.5 hours with 7 people? Well, everyone's got to do at least 20 minutes on top of me doing, 20 to 30 on the top. And so,
wow.
and so you're just like, well,
Yeah.
and I don't, one thing that I don't want to do that happened a lot when we did Fun Club was that, um, obviously we would, it was 4 to 6, but we would smoke at 4:20 and then start at 4:30. And sometimes there would only be, it'd be me, Jimmy, Nancy, and Phoenix or something. And so, I would do like 30, 45 minutes. I'd go up there like 2 or 3 different times, and do like 45 minutes, and we'd have like a smoke break in between, and we'd still finish early. Like, one thing I just don't want to do at all is, I've started a late a couple of times, but that's just because there's only a couple people there. And um, I want to, like, usually like 4:30 people start showing up, so I want to get the few first people hammered out and let them know, so then after like I do my time, then that next person can go up, and then while they're up I can tell like the next 2 or 3 people, like, make sure they're nearby, and then focus on, like, because people are always going to be trickling in. People are always going to be like messaging you, telling you like, I'm going to be late, I'm 10 minutes away, I'm 5 minutes away, I'm like around the corner. And then and um and which is good, and I do appreciate, but you got to interact with them and let them know, because it's your baby, it's your baby boy, it's your project, and you got to make it go smooth. And if people are going to be dipping out, you got to be able to peel yourself off and thank them for stopping by, without the person on stage thinking that you're instantly losing interest in what they're doing. And because nobody think if you just get up and walk out, nobody thinks that you're like, oh, he's running a mic and his phone's blowing up and he's got to organize stuff. Like they think that you're just like, oh, what I'm saying is not as funny as what is happening is important or whatever. And um, just yeah, I'm off on a tangent, but
All right.
I try to give the first few people that show up plenty of time, and then I also try and make sure that the last two or three people, the people that DM me and tell me they're going to be, late and they got to leave early, or they're going to try and hit this other mic, or I've known them for a little while or whatever. Like I try and give them a little more time at the end and stuff. And they don't have any bands traveling right now, so we almost finished it. It was like 10 till 7 last week when I was like finishing, and Dante's didn't care at all. So I'm not gonna like be liberal with that. I just am not like gonna be so uppity about finishing right at 6:30 on the dot. But
Yeah. So you
uh,
start at 4 o'clock and there's that many comics coming in.
last week we had 19 total,
Holy
and
shit.
the week before we had 14, and then the week before we had 9. And there's only like 30% same people. Like last week we had this trans girl and she brought 3 friends with her, and it
Oh,
was
wait,
just
those are the
like,
best.
yeah,
Th-
I was,
th-
well,
th-
I mean, dude, there's like, if you looked at me, I would identify as a straight white guy. So like I love having diverse people to feel welcome, because they're going to be a stronger validation for bringing more just diverse people. Because like, yeah, I'm a straight white guy, and if I put on a show right now, like, you know the pool is limited, and I just want everyone to know, like, it's totally chill and it's cool, because each week we're just getting, you know it's not a bunch of straight white dudes. And um and Nancy, do you know Nancy
Um,
Hansen?
I do not.
You might recognize her
Is
if you
she
saw
new?
her. No, she's been around for a while, but she's older and she's short. She's really short and she's older, and she took some classes at Kickstand and stuff a while ago. But
Okay,
she
I'll
was
have to look.
she was telling, she's like, obviously, like, dogging on Jimmy, and I wasn't really like having it, because he's my boy and such. But
Yeah.
she was saying that, his energy can be, off-putting to, certain types of people and stuff. And so I just, you know he's my boy, and we've got like a pet project that we've done the outline for. And after the GameStop squeeze, I'm gonna be like, dude, we gotta write Goodbye Kitty and just film it, because it's this really funny movie idea. We wrote the outline, and it's got Mark Curry in it, and it's really funny. But anyways, so I just, yeah, in the in the movie, yeah, it's so okay. So basically, you got this dude, and he's a stand-up comic, like part-time, but he's like hosting this event at this comedy club that he works nights at. He works at like a bar, during the day or whatever, and then at night he works slash hosts at this club. And he's hosting this show this particular night when the movie starts, and it's like the opening credits. And he's getting off work, and he's going by his own bar so he can get like a shot, uh, and play a little poker before he goes to the club. And he's got this Hello Kitty bag, and um, it's got uh, like his weed in it for that he's taking, because he's supposed to be taking this weed for Mark Curry. because Mark Curry's headlining at this show that he's hosting slash this club that he works at. So there's like added pressure. And he goes to the bar and he like sets his bag down and runs to the bathroom. And there's the old switcheroo with, you know, some mafia conglomerate drop off transportation dude. And there's a little mix up. And then our dude is, he realizes that he doesn't have the weed for Mark Curry, and we're like, Mark Curry smokes weed, and that's like one of the ongoing jokes. It's like, yeah, I didn't know Mark Curry smoked weed. It's like, yeah, dude, I've always wanted to hang with Mr. Cooper, and
Man,
it's like,
Mark
it's
Curry,
almost like this.
such a cool shirt. Just so you know, if you, I don't know if that's slander or anything, but man, you got to make that shirt. You got to make
The
uh
Mark Curry smokes weed.
smokes weed. Put that on a shirt, man. It might not get a lot of sales, but if some people are just gonna fucking love it, I'd be one of them.
Yeah,
I
it's
would buy
a
a shirt and I'd wear that a lot if I had a shirt that said Mark Curry smokes weed.
that's funny.
Dude,
Yeah, good idea.
yeah,
But yeah, so it.
go for it.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, just
Getting into the Mark Curry shit.
yeah, yeah. It just like there's like our generation, man. Like I don't think like we don't talk about it a lot, and it's almost like it's not okay or it's like uncool or inappropriate to talk about it. But like, uh, you know, hanging with Mr. Cooper was a funny show,
Fuck
and
yeah,
it's
dude.
like, oh my gosh,
As soon as you
so
said
funny.
Mark Curry, I had the fucking thing, man. Like, the, and it's like with my baby's also, and then it's like, oh man. And then there was the little fat principal woman. Um, I can't think what her name is, but she's I want to say Nell Carter, but I'm throwing out there. And
Right.
then I had Holly Robinson on it, and then
Mm-hmm.
the other one, I don't remember her name. What the hell was
Mm-hmm.
her name? Donna? I don't know. I'm gonna do some, but go back to about Goodbye Kitty with Mr. Cooper.
Oh yeah, so there's this old mix up in the bag, and then he's got a very small window to switch to get the bag switched, and I don't want to
Sure.
spoil how it happens, but like every hero's journey, you know, everyone, Mr. Curry and you know, drug dealer gets his stuff, and our hero and sidekick and love interest and everyone get to pass one around with Mr. Curry.
Man, so is Mark Curry really going to be in this?
So when we film it, we're gonna do like the whole like, it looks like him from the back and it sounds like him, but like it's not him. And then hopefully he'll see it and be like, oh, this is beautiful. I want to be a part of it and I want to tweak it. And then it's just, like he puts his touches on it and he puts his face in it. But it's gonna ideally be like standalone funny on its own and not need anything like that. But it would just be like if you've seen the movie Clerks, like the original cut versus the Miramax theatrical release.
Yeah.
Like there's a
Sorry, man.
there's like 90% of the movie is original. There's only a few tweaks, and then like the end is way different. But yeah, it's and it would be called Goodbye Kitty, and yeah, it would be dope. But yeah, so there's that project that I always have like just kept thinking about that, I'm gonna want done when we get some time and some resources to just write up some shit and film some stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
Getting dude, man, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's man, yeah, okay. Jeez, I'm gonna be thinking about hanging with Mr. Cooper now. I'm gonna have to watch a few episodes here now just to I don't know if didn't some fucking streaming site fucking release it recently?
I wouldn't be surprised because you can only find it in like bits and like episode parts on YouTube. So that would have to kind of, I would assume that there's someone out there copyright strike and stuff.
Oh, those assholes.
Right.
I'm just trying to fucking watch Hanging with Mr. Cooper, man. Like, we don't need to be bringing in the no fun patrol through. So once
Well,
they
and
happen, yeah.
they could always like start like hang it like everyone who's ever responsible for like the distribution rights, they could have their own Hanging with Mr. Cooper like channel, YouTube channel, and then like they could either put in all the episodes with the commercials where the commercials were so they could be approved for AdSense, and then it's just on there, and then they don't have to really worry about it, just pay one person to manage it. um, or they could do like tidbits of it and then have like a Patreon account where you can watch all the episodes and behind the scene footage and things like that. But then it would require much more. It wouldn't be as autonomous. It would be like an ongoing job for someone. Because once you
Yeah.
get up those Patreon tiers, like the cool thing about Patreon tiers is like no matter who you are, like you eventually could get to like the $1,000 a month Patreon subscriber and then do like a 30-minute Zoom chat or something each month with that category. Or you all you have to do is provide some sort of value, and as long as you have like an initial product to offer, i.e. episodes of Hanging with Mr. Cooper, then you could in theory parlay that into something like that. But I think that type of thing, like YouTube and Patreon and stuff, that's so much more for just like they're trying to get it individual content creators to utilize it rather than groups or factions or other businesses with content that's
Yeah.
already already has a fan base. Because like a lot of those, like the Hanging with Mr. Cooper and Family Matters and My Brother and Me and Smart Guy, and a lot of those like
Oh,
comedies that were like for white people, but
yeah.
not like didn't
Oh,
involve white people, or if they did, they were like the butt of the joke, which is always wonderful.
dude, okay. So like the show My Brother and Me, like no, it's one of those ones that nobody remembers. But man, shit. Like the little kid had a fucking catchphrase. There was the younger brother had like the square hair top, I think.
The older
And
brother had the square top. The
oh, the older
younger
brother. Okay.
brother
What
had
did he
the
say? He
well.
had
I
some
I
stupid catchphrase,
remember
and I say,
right. I remember. Well, I remember him saying like Alfie to his brother because it was
hmm?
Alfie and Dee Dee. But
Oh
I
damn.
remember the younger brother. His friend and
The little. Oh, go ahead.
his friend who had the flat top, and his mom would say, "Don't hold your breath." And that was the catchphrase, was him, his friend and his friend's mom saying, "Don't hold your breath."
Maybe that's what it was.
Mhm.
Man, okay, yeah. Oh, damn. Like I can picture that shit in my head.
Mhm.
Um, that was a deep cut there. Nobody brings up my brother and me.
It was a classic, and I was thinking about it like a week or two ago at work, because I was thinking about the how Screech in Say by the Bell.
Oh wow, here we go.
Right.
Starting out the show.
But how his character is like really funny, and he's kind of like the, he's like the folly. So you got
Yeah.
Screech and Say by the Bell, you got Goo in My Brother and Me, the like chubby bald friend that always wore like basketball shorts and a
And
t-shirt.
his
And
name was
then,
Goo.
yeah, his name was Goo because I now learn that that's because he like was always masturbating, I'm sure.
Oh, that sounds very probably right.
Well, shit, what was it called? Um, oh, Growing Pains.
Oh,
This,
boner. Boner, dude.
yeah, like come on. But
How did that get through anything, dude? And like for years. And dude, I mean, like he had to have been called that like his whole life. Uh,
well, and
up
not
until
only up until his suicide.
yeah, up in Stanley Park and
Yeah,
fucking Vancouver.
yeah,
Dude, but I mean, you get called boner enough times, and you're not doing anything. I mean, that's kind of the sad reality. And I mean, you can embrace it, but I don't think he seems like the guy who would embrace it. I
right.
don't
Well,
think.
they're like, he's like, you just imagine him like trying so hard to get any type of acting work, and being like a serious like Shakespearean actor, like Jim Varney.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, "Hey, we got this role for you. You're like they're like, you know Waldo from Family Matters?" They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "You know Ed from Good Burger?" They're like, "Yeah." Like, "You're gonna be Mike Seaver's, like you're gonna be Mike Seaver's buddy, and your name's gonna be Boner." He's like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess I could get on board. Like, I listened to the Beastie Boys and Bloodhound Gang, like." And then like now then he's all frustrated because he can't be taken as a serious actor in a role where he's like, in the climax of the film, he's like squeezing Jennifer Aniston's butt to pay his rent or something.
This is boner,
Yeah, yeah.
man. That okay. Well, we have holograms and we have deepfake and we have AI. We can make this happen.
All right. Bring.
We can make Boner touch Jennifer Aniston's butt at the end.
Okay. So the skit is like, uh, the skit is two dudes are creating a device that'll project a hologram. So they're talking about creating this character from Family Matters in a serious movie, where in the movie, in the climax, the character Boner is touching Jennifer Aniston's butt or kissing her or something, and then
Oh,
the other dude misinterprets it. So when they actually provide the product, it's like just like a giant erect penis. It's
Waldo?
like,
Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo.
Well, it could be that mix up, but I was thinking just like a giant penis. And then she's like,
Because
"Oh my God, I'm being attacked by a giant penis." And he's like, "It was supposed to be Boner from Growing Pains."
of,
It's like, "Oh, Boner, not an actual boner."
yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, the show Growing Pains with a guy named Boner, a kid named Boner,
Yeah, yeah. He
like a
and they were in
teenager.
yeah, yeah, like a teenager. So
It's,
they're calling.
I mean, there. That's the behind the scenes I'd want to do. The writers on that show or the director is like, um, yep, boner it is. That's
Maybe
can't
they
do
were
anything
trying
else.
to maybe they were pushing for like Woody or Stiffy or something. They're like, "Oh, Stiffy or Woody." And they're like, "No, you gotta." I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to go for like a different word and they discovered by surprise that boner would be okay.
You know, that's always kind of the thing to deal with that. Just ask for really fucking ridiculous, and then you'll get like, oh, boner's okay. Boner, yeah. Okay, boner, yeah. This kid TV's name is gonna be Boner. Oh shit. Okay.
the the questionably questionable friend of the strapping young lead's son who can never get a girlfriend, never has a date, only talks about failing with his attempts on women. And
He's
yeah.
just stuck. Boner.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's really funny because it's like, yeah, I'd like to ask the writers on that one.
This um and good for them if that's what they did. I'd be pretty impressed.
Hmm.
But if I was a writer in the 80s, yeah, that's that's probably some cocaine fueled ideas right there. Um,
Well, and you know, it's like they're saying, you know, it's a lot more abundant, like the symbolism pointing to inappropriate activities with certain actors of a certain age at a certain level. And you know, they could have been pushing for that really hard. You know, they're like it can be an adult character, and they're like, no, it has to be a minor. like they're like, okay, but it can't be someone under the age of 12. They like clearly have to be like in real life they have to possibly be over 18, but they can play someone who's under 18 as long as they could or something. But
yeah, make him look young, kind of weird shit.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fucking people and their weird shit that they do and put on media that we consume and get all fucked up.
Oh
Get
yeah.
all fucked up from weird, gross shit. That-
Yeah, we don't need our beards to grow.
no, man. That's over. That shit's done.
It was funny this, you know, we it's like 112 today for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And you know, my girlfriend and I we were talking about it when we were in the shower because we've been taking a lot of cold like we normally shower together, but like we've been taking a lot of cold showers. And so like three, four, five a day, just hopping in for the
Whoa.
cold, you know, just hopping in the cold water because it's covered in the complex. We pay the heat and Wi-Fi and stuff, but the water's included. So we
So
just
is that included? Is it prorated? or like the let's see, is the amount of water like just a flat rate every month?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's not. It doesn't change with the use of the
With the
other people
heat,
in your
well,
complex.
no, unless I think unless we it were to be like on paper, then they would do that. But um, or if I doubt that they will look and be like, oh, this complex you took, you know, 10 5-minute cold showers instead of one 50-minute hot shower,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
like at my last place, I had um people that were in that house. They had to have like 9 people in the apartment, and they had a bunch of kids and shit. And there was a lot of people with um a lot of water use probably. And my
Hmm.
girlfriend and I are both kind of like, I don't know, sort of like minimalist, kind of hippie kind of
Hmm.
shit. Like, and
Yeah.
we both definitely use water, but like neighbors were using, and we had to pay like everyone had to pay together, and then they split it. It's like they're getting fucking surf and turf dinner, and I'm getting maybe a uh, an iced tea or something, and then we all split the bill evenly,
Right.
and so that's what it. Now we have our own. We pay. So because now we're out in fucking Utah, doing that shit.
Twanging,
Hmm.
twanging in Utah.
Yep, I went out to fucking Nevada already, and uh, yeah, pretty cool, pretty
That
cool.
is
And
dope. Do
um,
you do you play video slots at all?
I do not. No, I do. I have $5, and I'll play one hand of roulette, and
That's
usually I'll bet
interesting.
on odd, and if I win, I'll take fucking whatever, 5, $10. All right, so I guess I get $10 total, but I make five, and I'll go cash out and maybe like have one of those free. Um, you get the little cups, and you can like fill it up with soda or lemonade or coffee. I don't drink coffee really. But you can get all that for free, and then I'll just cash out, or else I'll have my donation to the local native tribe.
Dude, that's very dope. It's very honorable and conservative. Yeah, I freaking I'll watch someone play video slots on YouTube and then like on my
Well,
way like oh yeah, there's a couple dudes that they always play like the high limit rooms, but I'll watch them play slots and then I'll like have to fight the urge to go play in the bar down the street, even though I know the odds are like shit compared to like the Vegas odds. But one of the things that I want to do after the GameStop squeeze is um I want to do like a variety show. So then like I can get like groups of comics and I can give them like some resources and have them film and put together like funny shit, and then I can piece that all together into like episodes, like weekly episodes or something like. But
yeah,
one of these excuse me, one of these dudes on on YouTube. Uh, his account is the Big Jackpot, and he'll do high limit slots, and so he's doing like 50, 100, 250, $500 a spin type of play.
Wow.
And he has a video where he was doing $1,000 a spin, and on his birthday, which is like uh 12 days away, he's doing 50 $5,000 spins.
Whoa, holy shit.
And so like any of his videos, and there's a lot of people that play slots. There's this one dude who he's a few years younger than us, but he's got some ADD going on, and he's straight acting, but he'll talk about like his problems with dating men, but like he's really funny, but he'll play like $1.75 a spin. But this other dude, the Big Jackpot, like I was watching an interview with him, and he's been a millionaire for like 20 years. Like he got into email marketing in like the early 2000s and was making like 20K a day doing that. And he had always played slots, but he didn't start his slot channel till like 5 years ago. But he said when he goes to the casino, his budget is usually 25 to $30,000, and
Jeez.
he's uploading videos. He uploads multiple videos a day, and he's always traveling. And he's like, a lot of people ask why I only load videos of me winning and never losing. And he's like, if I loaded videos of me losing, people wouldn't watch my videos. And so not only is he spending, 25 to 30K, in these, just because he has like vouchers for like 3,000 or 5,000, sometimes like 10,000, and he'll put those in the machine. And then when he drains those, he has like a handful of $100 bills that he's like cramming in the machine, especially when he's doing like $50 a spin. He'll put in like $600 or $700 and then drain it and do it again and do it again and then hit. But any win that's more than like $1,200, you have to pay taxes on. And it's like a jackpot, hand pay, some sort of rule. But I want to one of the skit shorts I want to do is basically like playing slots, but you know, um, you kind of just riffing, and then when the jackpots hit or whatever, that's when like the real funny stuff comes out, and then the clips, the content for the show, the clips for the show would be like big wins and like conversational improv. It would be cool to do characters because they sometimes they'll do like what's called group polls, and so it's like not the Big Jackpot, but this other guy, BC Slots, Brian Christopher Slots. He'll get like 30 people, and they all put in $60, and then they all get 10 $6 spins or whatever, and it's like then they split the jackpots and stuff. But like do something like that, and I would have one person host it, like how Brian Christopher does, and then the comics or the comedic actors or improvs or whatever, they would, comedians, they would come in and act as a group poll member and do some comedy. And, we could do like, what's your name? Where are you from? And then they could go into full on improv character mode, or they could actually be like, my name's Bryan Withawhy. I'm a stand-up comic in Portland. I work in mental health. And then the humor would come from that versus like putting on a skit with characters.
Yeah. Like, yeah, hey, I'm Sam. I'm a rancher and I collect butterflies. How are you today?
I'm good. Yeah, yeah.
You know, so these guys, how are their views? How many views are they getting?
I don't really want. I haven't. Let me just go. I'll go check right now because I got the wireless or the Wi-Fi, the USB. It's like a miniature keyboard. It's like the size of a taco, and it's got a scroll pad and a keypad on it. So let me just.
All
Okay.
right.
So he only has 25,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Um, Let me click on SD slot. SD guy 1 2 3 4. That's the younger dude that talks about his boy troubles when he's losing in poker or in slots. Talk about his Tinder dates. Uh, he's got 131,000 subscribers.
See, like that dude is probably making more money than he's fucking spending at the tape. Like, a lot of that money, you make a good amount of money when you have over 100,000 subscribers. Thanks, 100,000.
Well, I also heard though. I also heard that. Dang it! Come on, bitch. I heard that gambling's not like slots are not a slot play is not allowed on YouTube.
Oh,
So if it is, then it's not monetized. But
wow.
but the big jackpot and SD 1 2 3 4, they've like I've seen commercials during their videos, so I don't know the whole rules, but I also know that like for the sketch show, like um it would be comedy based, and so that would be like the main, like it's got to be funny, and like that's, if it's not funny, like I wouldn't put it up, but like the whatever would go onto YouTube and social media would be within the parameters, and then the other content could be on the website, on Patreon, on BitChute. Like there's plenty of other formats, especially with Patreon. Like if we had some really funny shit on YouTube that was clean, like clean, funny as hell stuff on YouTube that like teenagers and preteens start like showing their friends, and all they got to do is pay like $10 a month, and they can see the slots and weed smoking and drinking and like nipples and stuff,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
like
that'd be pretty cool.
swearing and hearing like you know gay dudes talking about blowjobs and things like that,
Yeah.
like because that's not as bad as a woman talking about that, right? Like
But you're right. I mean, and as far as everything goes, yeah, totally. Because that's the world, I guess.
right,
But
it's more
yeah,
acceptable, but or it's easier to, I don't know.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Someone probably
but
does, but you
yeah,
know,
so that would be, I mean, like just as like because that like YouTube, yes, YouTube is really big, and but I also think that like they've changed the rules so much. The community guidelines have been restricted so much that um, other other services, other apps, and other formats are on trajectory to be bigger than YouTube. Because
they
like,
need a new YouTube.
well, they do, and they have like lbry.io, and they have like BitChute, and they have other ones, but then it seems like each year when I research like what's the next YouTube, um, it's not like there's just like this could be it, this could be it, and this could be it, or this was the biggest thing. This was like, like TikTok. TikTok's a
Yeah.
big thing. And so like, and you could tell that TikTok was a big thing because YouTube started doing shorts. And it's like YouTube didn't do shorts when Instagram, was doing videos, because there was videos on Instagram, there was like GIFs on Twitter and stuff, but TikTok really like the short clips, 30-second, whatever, minute long clips. And so even doing that, like, and doing pumping out comedy like that would be easier because you're only having to do 30-second minute clips at a time. And so less is more in that context. And then as people invest more, like, you want to continue to provide great value, which obviously would be like the gambling and skits that involve nipples or something or whatever. Um, so you wouldn't have to be as like clean and universally appealing because people would be invested. So their tolerance would be higher for consumable goods, like like being more niche. Because like it's like, yeah. Does that make sense? Or should I
Yeah.
use okay,
Buy
another
our stuff
analogy?
because it's
It's
good
like, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. And so that's just being able to provide that, because it's so fun, like being able to run the mic, and just like each week that I do it, I like ask myself, how can I make it 1% better next time? And obviously it's the first 3 weeks, it's better than 1%. The whole idea behind getting 1% better is when you're talking about daily self improvement, then that's where the 1% better each day builds serious momentum. But the LOL, like, it was probably like 20% better the second time, and then like 10% better the third time, because the first time there was like no spotlighting, no floodlights, nothing like that. And then the second time I had this light that they had there, which was a floodlight, but it was almost like a maintenance floodlight. It wasn't like a show or a reading floodlight. And then last week I had borrowed my stepdaughter's. She has like this reading desk lamp that's a clip. And so I was able to clip it on the back of this monitor speaker that's like eye level. And so it was hidden behind the speaker, and it lit up the comic. And then I had the other floodlight from in-house on the other side, so it took away sharp shadows.
Cool.
Yeah. And I don't know what I'm going to do this next week, but uh, I think it has something to do with bringing in, I don't know, a fan. Or I haven't been able to find blocks of ice. I've only been able to find bags of ice. And like, I want to get like one of those, they have like, they're like $6, like the styrofoam cooler, and like a block of ice, and then just set that in front of the fan. Because it's not extreme, it's not luxurious, but it dissipates
Yeah.
enough cool air in the room so that you can cool it so you're not dying.
Yeah, exactly.
But
People don't need to be dying at your show. That'll probably make
no,
less people come.
right? Right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you can go and get a free piece of pizza, and a free drink. It's like, yeah, but you might die. Like,
It's like, well, how good is that pizza?
right? How strong is the drink?
Yeah.
Like,
What's going on here? Let's do this. Um, man. So I kind of got to wrap up here soon, ish. I wanted to talk about the GameStop.
Okay.
Um, so it's just we're just holding it. It's just a waiting game,
Yeah,
and yeah,
pretty much.
it's
It's a waiting game, and my phone is telling me that it's too hot and the it might overheat. So
okay. So then
um
let's end this then,
yeah,
because
it's
this is
oh
gonna
yeah.
do it. So let's yeah, we'll do some stuff. Hey, side note, this podcast is on Pandora now. So
Really?
if you want to, yeah, it got accepted on Pandora. I submitted my podcasts like through all three of them, and that this one got accepted on Pandora. So you can
That's pretty
listen
good.
to, yeah, Saved by the Ben with the Bryan with the Y episodes on Pandora.
I'm gonna check
So
that out.
I am curious as to what else I don't know how the podcast thing works. So it's like the music where it'll play an episode of mine and then like it suggests something else. I'd be curious as to what it suggests.
Right.
So yeah, but I'll have this up on the first. So um, uh, LOL is the place to be
Yep,
in Portland,
Thursday at
Oregon.
yeah, Thursday at Dante's. It's right downtown off Burnside. Like third northwest Burnside and 4 to 6:30 on Thursdays. It's a pretty dope mic and we had 19 comics last week. I'm hoping for 20 this week and then up from there.
Yeah. Get those people, tell them they don't need to do 420 at their house. They can come out to outside,
Right?
out on Burnside.
Just get all toasted.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on again, and there'll probably be another one. Whatever part this is, I'll figure that out. I think where this is four.
Alrighty.
So yeah, so hopefully next time we talk, GameStop will be the moon. Uh,
I could see it. I could see
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Just keep coming up with ideas for skits and characters and funny things that make you feel good because that's what we'll be able to do.
yeah. That's where this is going, man. So fucking uh, party on, Wayne. I don't
Alrighty.
know, man. Uh, yeah, dude. All right. Well, next time, same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right. It sounds good.
All right. Later, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
And that's the show, man. You can find Bryan at Dante's on Thursdays at 4 p.m. in Portland, Oregon. Sign up with him as Bryan with a Y, or you can find him on social media and follow him. Only in real life, not on social media. You can follow him on social media too. But until next time, I'm not Casey Kasem.